In the past 5 days, Lululemon is down 10%. In the past 1 month, Lulu is down 15%. And in the past 6 months, it's down 47%. And on year to date, it's at a glorious negative 50% mark. Fortunately or unfortunately, Mr. Market wishes for me to hold on to my falling knife title. And within just 1.5 weeks after my first cover on Lululemon, it has fallen by another 15% from the publication date. So full disclosure, I did add to my position in the past few weeks of weakness. And Lululemon sits right under 3% of my overall portfolio. So in case someone accuses me of just furnishing my position via Excel, here's the screenshot in my IB portfolio. So it's not exactly the right percentage because I have monies in other brokers as well. Hence, the need for Excel to consolidate. But that's besides the point. And on a side note, I do intend to add to my Lulu position if Mr. Market decides to give me an opportunity. And for some context, I've also recently sold out of my Chinese bank positions and have documented my thought process on Substack. And if you're interested for any of my early portfolio moves, link is in the description. Therefore, I currently do have a lump sum sitting around and I'm looking to add to Lulu 2 more times. 3 if it comes down significantly enough. So in this video, I'll focus on 3 key areas. Why is Lulu tanking recently? Insights I gained from speaking to someone working in the company, and a brief look at their valuations today. So I think we've got quite a lot to cover, so go grab your coffee. First, let's talk about the dramatic negative 15% drop in the last week or so. What the happened? I believe the general fears came in 2 blows. A failed product launch and the dirty R word. And as Business Insiders succinctly summarized the episode, Lululemon just released their new leggings. Shoppers and shareholders are mad. Long story short, they've recently paused sales of their Breeze Through product line, which was introduced earlier this month but was heavily criticized by many consumers for its unflattering design, poor fit, amongst many other issues. And when I took this product review or product question to the Lululemon Reddit subthread, to no one's surprise, there is a barrage of discussions and reviews on Breeze Through. While some were neutral, many were actually complaining about the cut and how bad it made them look. And the best comment goes to this user called Amlisha. These pants need UN sanctions for war crimes. The things that they are doing visually to the people on this subreddit should be punished. Unquote. So I don't know if this misstep from the product team deserves sanctions from the United Nations, but what I know for sure is that customers are unhappy and Wall Street is probably front-running these expectations of poorer sales and plausibly a weaker product team, especially after Lulu's chief product officer has resigned from the company some 2 months ago. So as Matthew, a JP Morgan analyst, puts it, the pause in sales highlight Lululemon's challenges in recent innovation, limited color palettes, and execution, causing investors to react extremely negatively. So the assessment from an investor perspective is whether they're able to overcome this hurdle and win back their customers again. If not, this is slowly chipping away at their brand equity. So although we can acknowledge that these problems are short-term in nature and are well within the control of the company's management, the bigger issue at hand here is whether they are capable enough to work it out, which remains as the biggest elephant in the room today. So one thing for sure, after going through some hundreds of reviews on the various social media platforms, from Reddit to YouTube to even TikTok, many users still swear by the Lulu brand, talking about the comfort and the superior product, but are disappointed with their recent maneuvers. Now, onto the second part, which is something that is out of Lululemon's control, the dirty R word, which is recession. So as I floated in the previous video, if a recession do hit, all bets are off. But make no mistake, I completely agree that in a recessionary period, this whole brand identity thing can be thrown out the window as people pull back their spending. So we are talking about premium products here, not necessarily luxury products like Ferrari, with customers being completely price inelastic. Therefore, I can understand why investors are the first to sell out of investments like Lululemon the moment they post slowing growth rates. Hey investors, now you can get 0 commission plus 0 platform fees while trading US options with Webull by performing a minimum of 100 US options trades monthly with reimbursed fees until the end of September. So if you're an options trader, you cannot miss this extremely competitive deal. You can get 1 month of commission-free trading for US stocks and US ETFs, and 3 months of commission-free US options trading when you open a Weibo account and successfully meet the relevant trading requirements. So Weibo is known for its low trading fees, intuitive interface, and extremely powerful tools. Weibo could be your ideal trading platform. Additionally, for those of you who like to get more cash rewards, I've got good news. So Weibo is running a deposit promotion where you deposit minimally 2,000 US dollars and complete 3 US buy trades and maintain it until the 31st of August 2024 to get 60 US dollars worth of cash vouchers. On a much higher tier, you can deposit minimally 10,000 US dollars and complete 5 US buy trades and maintain it until the 31st of August 2024 to get 400 US dollars worth of cash vouchers. Moreover, you can get up to 7% of money bull interest for up to 90 days with returns up to 1,750 US dollars. So Money Bull is open to all Weibo accounts for you to access it easily. Sign up now and grab your rewards. Don't forget to join Weibo and unlock commission-free trading today. And in Visa's latest earnings report, they've handed in a mixed report card, with revenue actually falling short due to a slowdown in payment volume growth compared to the previous quarter. And growth was much stronger in the international market compared to the United States, but both has slowed down. So we can look forward to MasterCard's report in the coming week or so to basically paint a fuller picture of the health of the consumer today. And to corroborate this weakening consumer story, so we can look towards the aspirational luxury space, where both Kering and LVMH has recently reported their earnings, with notable verticals like Gucci being down negative 20% year-on-year, Saint Laurent negative 9% year-on-year, and LV's main leather product line was actually flat, and their wine and watches categories were both down single digits year-on-year. And this might be early signs of consumer weakness. And if US consumers do restrain their spending in any meaningful way, Lululemon would bear the brunt of this pullback. So to what extent is anybody's guess? But I'd just like to put a side note here, where there's this phenomenon known as the lipstick effect, where consumers tend to purchase small luxury items like lipsticks during economic downturns as affordable indulgence, especially in a pessimistic environment. So I think Lulu's yoga pants do fall under this category of affordable indulgence, particularly at their price point of near $100 per pair. But they have yet to go through that tribulation of fire, and it will be a good opportunity to test this theory out. That said, when a recession do actually hit us globally, you would expect Lulu's financials to take a significant hit, regardless of the lipstick effect or not. But the blessing in disguise, if this lipstick effect is in full force, they might actually be grabbing market share from other players, provided that people still swear by the brand and superior product offering in a potentially shrinking market in a recessionary environment. And I've recently managed to connect with someone working in Lululemon, and this is basically the summary of our discussion. So on the business side, he actually believes that there is a high probability of Lululemon continuing to do well, but not too sure how it would actually translate to investors making money from the stock itself, due to the relatively high expectations and multiples tagged by investors today. And when we had this conversation, Lululemon was actually trading closer to 21 times PE. And at present, you can look at Lulu's business as two core verticals: the US and Canada block versus the Chinese block. And moving forward, most of the growth on the top line, revenue and sales, will primarily be driven by the Chinese market. So they're getting some sort of a sense that Asia is picking up fairly well and responses are good. And all Lulu has to do is to jump onto that flywheel, introducing more customizations to fit Asians better, with product cycles iterating at a faster pace. So this is an important area to monitor. On the flip side, for the US and Canada side, they've kind of hit some sort of a saturation, and we should focus on the efficiency and productivity gains on the margins and bottom line instead. And in China, manufacturing and distribution is not the problem, since they can tap onto existing infrastructure, but getting the Chinese to open up their wallets is the key problem here. Now, Lulu just have to ensure that their playbook of converting customers to superfans can be applied to the Chinese market too. And on top of that, he did float the idea that there might be some sense of awakening sometime down the road because the company has been kind of struggling to keep up with the demand since the 2020 boom. And they've since hired a lot of people not pulling above their weight. So we'll probably not exclude the possibility of a layoff coming soon if they continue to disappoint investors. And there are untapped levers of efficiency, mainly through automation and also their staffing. And do take this perspective with a grain of salt. And now we have of course come to the favorite part of most investors, looking at price and valuations. So if you take a relative valuation approach, Lulu has never traded this low before, whether you look at it from a price to sales, price to earnings, or even a price to free cash flow method. However, let's not forget that the stock market is some sort of a forward-looking pricing platform. So taking a historical perspectives do give you some sort of a grounding and sensing in terms of how cheap it currently is relative to its past expectations. But if Lulu, for whatever reason, is deemed to be of lower in quality over the years, or do not have the growth runway ahead of them expected by investors anymore, then there would definitely be a discount being applied to their trading multiples. So justifying a 30 times price to earnings with a growth of 25 to 30% seems reasonable. But if the street actually do agree that Lulu will only grow at a 5 to 10% clip in the foreseeable future, then having a 10 to 15 times PE might be the norm going forward. All in all, I have a few concluding points to make. First, I think the long-term expectations of Lulu only growing top line by roughly 8 to 10% is on the conservative end, and I'm probably more bullish than that. If not, I wouldn't be a shareholder here. Second, I think there are legitimate considerations of economic slowdown or even a recession, but I'm more focused on what can be controlled and what cannot be controlled, if I'm really intending to hold a position for the long term. And third, judging from its past financial performance, Lulu has proven to be a company with quality characteristics, such as spectacular margins and spectacular return on invested capital. So now, I've laid out the expectations from different perspectives around Lululemon today, and you should be the judge. I'm more concerned about product execution and less so about the recession. So I do believe that the brand and the community equity that they've built over the last couple of years, coupled with their superior quality, will probably be able to weather any recession storm ahead. However, I'm more concerned with their poor execution, chipping away at the superfans' allegiance and excitement behind the Lululemon brand. So feel free to leave in the comment section down below on what you think of Lululemon today, and I'll see you in the next video, but more importantly and hopefully, I'll see you guys on the moon. Goodbye!